What's up, guys? Hockey Dude 1940 here, and we are back with the Colorado Avalanche in the Stanley Cup Final. I am so pumped for this. Second time in 6 years the Colorado Avalanche have made it to the final. I am so pumped that I actually edited something with the team. I went to customize, edit player, and I edited every single player on our team except for the goalies, of course. Because I don't think they'll be scoring many goals. But just to give our players an extra scoring touch, we'll just use Reed Boucher as an example. Where is he? There he is. Just to give our players an extra scoring touch in the series, I gave every single player some gold tape on their stick. Some gold tape. You could call it yellow tape, whatever you want, but I'm calling it gold. Yeah, I gave every single player on the team gold tape on the stick, just to give them that extra scoring touch. So hopefully we'll score a bunch of goals this series with that little setting. But yeah, let's jump right into this game. Oh, actually, look at that. Nathan Horton wins the game in overtime. What a relief for the Columbus Blue Jackets fans. Blue Jackets 3, Carolina 2. So apparently Nathan Horton scored the game-winning goal to send Columbus to the final. And does it say it for us? I don't think it does. No, it's not saying it. Western Conference Final Game 72 final tonight. A shutout, that's AHL. No, it doesn't say it for us, it looks like. But yeah, Patrick Kane wins the series for us. Unbelievable. Alright, boys, game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. Actually, wait. I almost completely messed that up. I did not check out the Columbus team. So let's go to coaching options, view lines. Let's check out what Columbus has. Oh, look at that. They're right next door. Brendan Dubinsky, Ryan Johansson, and Nathan Horton. Now, I'm not going to bash on this team because obviously they're good. I mean, they beat a ton of good teams to make it this far, so I'm not going to rag on their team or anything. But Dubinsky, 85 two-way forward. He was that third liner that we wanted. He was in their first line. Ryan Johansson, 87 playmaker. Now, Johansson would be better if they had a sniper alongside of him, but they don't. Nathan Horton, 84 power forward. He should be on the second or third line. Second line, R.J. Umberger, he's the third liner. Tyson Bailey, he's the third liner. And Cam Atkinson, I guess, could be a second liner. Third line, you have Matt Fratton, C. Kunik, and Curtis Glencross. It's a very nice third line. And the fourth line, Matt Calvert, Artem Anisimov, and Boone Jenner. I really like Jenner and Anisimov, but I don't really like Calvert there. They have a lot of good two-way forwards. They're a very defensive team. Defensively, Wisniewski and Johnson, two offensive defensemen. Then they have Savard, another offensive. Siemens, 83 defensive. And then Tim Erickson and Clark. And then in the net, Bobrovsky, 86. And also Oscar Dansk, 86. No matter what, they have an 86 in the net. I have to be honest, I'm not too afraid of this team. I mean, I'm sort of on the edge because, you know, they've won 2 playoff rounds previous. So, you know, they've made it just as far as we have. But I'm looking up and down their team, and they don't have much. But then again, the Predators didn't have much, and the Jets didn't have much. And both of those teams, you know, almost beat us. So, or, well, the Predators did beat us. The Jets almost beat us. So, can't underestimate any team in this game. I mean, 44, 32, and 6 record. Based on their lineup, based on their record, I'm not at all afraid of this team. I'm just... That is and isn't what I'm afraid of them for. I'm not afraid of them because they don't have a great record and they don't have a great-looking team, but that's why I'm afraid of them, because they've gotten it done. They've made it to the Western Final with that group. So obviously they have something right there in Columbus. But let's see. Columbus Blue Jackets, Colorado Avalanche, Western Conference Final, Game 1. First period. Let's go, boys. There we go, 2-0. Tyler Toffoli and Johnny Generalzad, the scoring touch, the gold tape on the sticks, it's working. Second period, 4-1. There we go. Julius Honka, Jack Johnson got one back for them, but then Tyler Toffoli. Third period, ×8 simulation. And that's it. A 4-1 victory in Game 1. That's what I'm talking about. Very nice. So, this is nice. Man, game Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. Did I say Western Final before? I think I said we made it to the Western Final. I just realized this is the Stanley Cup Final. I may have said Western Final. If I did, I'm sorry, because I'm looking at Columbus as a Western team, but they're not. They're in the East now. So Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. How did they make it to the final, man? How did they make it to the final, honestly? I mean, Jesus. That team that they have, I don't know. But again, I'm not going to underestimate them. That was one game. Alright, boys. Game 2. Stanley Cup Final. Let's do this. First period. Oh, alright. Tim Erickson, Matt Duchene, and Matt Calvert, the guy I made fun of on their fourth line. Alright, second period. There it is. Reed Boucher, the power play goal. Alright, boys. Third period. I'll do ×8 simulation. Let's go. There we go. Patrick the Showtime Kane on the power play. Our power play's clicking this game. And that's it. A 2-0 lead in the series for the Colorado Avalanche. The first time this playoff we win back-to-back Game 1 and 2. Very nice. Very nice. Alright, boys. So now they have to pretty much run the table. They have to go 4-2 if they're going to win this series. I think we have them. I think we have them. The roster that they have, the roster that we have that compares to them. Not many GMs in the NHL ever make it to star status, but you can count yourself in that elite now. You were doing all the right things since you became a veteran GM 26 months ago or so. Keep it up. You'll need to bring your best skills forward to earn legendary GM status. All right, so we're doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. All right, boys, we are 2 wins away from the Stanley Cup Final. We're in Columbus. Now they have a pretty loud crowd when in the playoffs when they're in it. So if we can beat them here, that's huge. First period. There we go. All right. Nathan Horton opened the scoring for them, but then Brendan Smith and Patrick Kane. All right, second period. There it is. Nathan McKinnon, the youngster. Oh, boys. ×8 simulation. There it is. Reed Boucher, the empty netter. Boys, we have a 3-0 lead in the Stanley Cup Final. Oh, my God. Yes. It doesn't even feel like the final because it feels like the biggest hurdles we've already gone over. I mean, the emotional series in LA. I'm out of emotion right now because I stopped recording for a couple hours. I opened some hockey cards. I opened like 3 or 4 boxes of hockey cards for my birthday, which was August 4th. The time you guys are watching this is probably quite a few days later, but yeah. So I'm not as into it as I was before, but now, I mean, we're up 3-0 in the Stanley Cup Final. I mean, unless we lose 4 games straight, I mean, the past 6 years, or 5 years, I've been calling this team the most unclutch team I've ever seen. But now, unless we do the most unclutch thing you can ever do in NHL history, lose 4 games in a row to lose a series, then we won the Stanley Cup, which we've been looking for so long. Is this the group to finally win that Stanley Cup? Let's find out. First period, no goals. Second period, Matt Fratton made it 1-0. All right, boys, come on. Come on. ×8. There it is, Kirby Reichel. Oh, wait. Oh, Jesus, I'm trying to stop the simulation. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm laughing so hard. Oh, my God. I was trying to stop the simulation. Like I was trying to press square, and every time I did, it was like automatically pressing play. So I just kept spamming the button, and it kept scoring goals every time I pressed the button. Kirby Reichel, 3 minutes in. Matt Duchene around, I guess, 7 minutes in. Patrick Kane followed, and then Tyler Toffoli. All right, boys, it's pretty much a guarantee that we win the Stanley Cup. So now I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to cut to the Stanley Cup celebration. And for the first time in 18 years, the Colorado Avalanche are the Stanley Cup champions. That's right, boys. They sweep the Columbus Blue Jackets in the 2018-2019 Stanley Cup Final. For the first time since 2001, we get to see the Avalanche hoist the Stanley Cup over their heads. I can't believe it. It only took 6 years for myself, the GM, to get us that Stanley Cup. It was a grueling, 6 seasons. There were a few seasons where I think we could have done a lot better. Many disappointing seasons. And right there, Semyon Varlamov, 1.56 goals against average, 9 .948 save percentage. Conn Smythe, MVP of the playoffs, very deservingly. And there he is, Matt Duchene, the captain. Oh, man. Oh, this is awesome. And there it is. He hoists the cup for the first time since Joe Sakic did it. That's going to do it, boys. We will go back to the main menu. Kirby Reichel actually scored this goal in the final minute. I'll show this to you guys. He just cut right in, did a little bit of a dangle, and just sniped it around Oscar Dansk. Attaboy, Kirby Reichel, the fourth line. Oh, man, it feels good. It would have been more satisfying if it were kind of a closer series. You know, it would have been more intense, you know, a little bit more emotional, a little bit more of an emotional series. I think that would have been better, but no, we just swept them. Colorado, they've waited way too long for that Stanley Cup. We had to just sweep the floor with them. We certainly did that. Joe Sakic, he was up there in the press box. He was cheering. He threw his arms up in the air. He was loving it. All right, the Stanley Cup is coming home with the Colorado Avalanche. On behalf of all the fans and the entire organization, I wanted to personally thank you for your hard work and effort this year. Great job. All right, so I said early this year that we only had 2 years left to win the Stanley Cup with the Colorado Avalanche. And we did it in year 6. So now next year, we could go for back-to-back. We could. We don't have to. We certainly could. You know, oh man, I almost quit. What am I doing? Stats Central, player stats. Or I almost went to the season. What am I doing? I'm messing everything up. Alright, so the final stats for the playoffs. So at least now next year I'll be able to enjoy the last year with the Colorado Avalanche. It won't be like, you know, painful, you know, having the stress of winning it in the last year. Or maybe it won't be the last year, you know, maybe we'll have time to do another year before NHL 15 comes out. Who knows? Nathan MacKinnon, point per game in the playoffs. Patrick Kane, 22 points in 23 games. Reed Boucher, 21 points in 23 games. Tyler Toffoli, 20 points in 23. Duchene, 19 in 23. Nylander, 14. Smith, 10. Murray, 9. Honka, 9. Johnson, 8. And there's the rest of them. Very nice. Tyson Barrie, 1 point. Way to produce, Tyson Barrie. Alright, and then, of course, the goaltender, the MVP of the playoffs, Semyon Varlamov, what a beast. 1.56 goals against average, 16-5-2. Unbelievable record. And then 94.79 save percentage. 3 shutouts. No points, unfortunately. But yeah, unbelievable. I said in the beginning that Columbus, you know, they didn't have much on their team, especially when you compare them to our team. And that definitely showed. And there it is. The Colorado Avalanche are the Stanley Cup champions. That's what I'm talking about. A 4-0 sweep. There's our run. We beat the Sharks in 5 games, the Jets in 7, the Kings in 7, and then the Blue Jackets in 4. We sweep them. That feels good. There it is. Alright, so I'm pretty sure we did everything. I'm pretty sure we did the playoff wrap-up there. Let's just go into GM Tracker, see if we can do anything. We can't do anything right now, but you know after it switches over, after winning the Stanley Cup, it's going to give us a ton of points. Let's just sim it up to the draft here, so that's ready in the next video. I don't think I'm going to trade Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane, he's been in this franchise for, what, 5 years now? 4 years now? I can't trade that guy. He's been with us through thick and thin. He's been here almost the entire GMO. There's no way I'm trading Patrick Kane for cap space. If I need to trade like Ben Smith or somebody for cap room, then I will. Because obviously we need Duchene and Varlamov to come back. But yeah, unbelievable. We're finally the Stanley Cup champions. I mean, there were many years where I thought we definitely could have won the Stanley Cup. And we just couldn't get it. It felt like Colorado was cursed, but finally we did it. It only took 6 years. You know, it didn't take us too long. It did not take us too long. It was painful, some of those runs. And coming so close to losing in the LA series. That LA series should have been the Stanley Cup final. That would have been more more special, I think. That Columbus series, you can tell in my voice. I mean, if you watch the videos, the Western Final to the Stanley Cup Final, you can hear it in my voice. I'm not as pumped in this video only because, just that series just was emotionally draining. Just like Montreal-Boston, you could argue that, that series, how emotionally drained people said. I don't believe that. I believe the Rangers would have beaten Montreal anyway, but people are saying how emotionally drained Montreal was after that Boston series. It's kind of like how this was here. After the LA series, that was such an emotional, up and down series. We came back from 3 games to 1 down. It felt like we should have won the first, couple of games. The bounces just didn't go our way, and then we ended up winning. It just felt so good and so satisfying, that when we got to the Cup, it was kind of just like, we kind of already had our victory. Kind of like the Montreal Canadiens. They had their Stanley Cup championship in beating Boston alone. Derek Roy retired. I don't recognize many of these names. They're all 0 games played. Patrick Sharp retired with Chicago. Henrik Zetterberg retired. Alright, so the Red Wings are going to be a little worse now. Oh man, that scared me. I thought it said Reed Boucher. I was like, wait, what? Boucher, no. No, it was Pascal Boucher. Marian Gaborik retired. Alright, Derek Smith, Jason Pominville retired. Kevin Klein, Ryan Reeves, Rene Bourque, Ryan Clough, Rich Peverly, Thompson, Nick Schultz. No real huge names other than Zetterberg, really. Man, a lot of retirements, man. Stephen Weiss, Tootin, Lyles, Michael Ryder, or no, it's not even Michael Ryder, it's Troy Ryder, whoever that is. Marshall Crosby. Mix between Sidney Crosby and Eminem. Daniel Sedin retired. Wow, Daniel retired without Henrik. So Henrik Sedin and Daniel Sedin both went up, and Daniel said, "I'm calling it a career," but Henrik Sedin was like, "No way, I'm playing one more year." They go their separate ways. So for the first time, Henrik Sedin is playing on a team without Daniel. So Daniel Sedin, those are his final career stats for the GM mode. Almost 1,400 games, over 400 goals, over 1,000 points. He hit the 1,000-point plateau. That's pretty cool. And that is it. Alright, so the goalies. Oops, I went up there. Bryant Elliott's on the Kings. Craig Anderson retired. And Ray Emery. So that does it for the retirements. A lot of players retired. Oops. Yeah, I dropped my controller. That was the sound of my controller falling on the floor. We don't need to trade anybody. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Colorado Avalanche are finally the Stanley Cup champions. I will see you guys in the next episode.